Good evening, everyone. My name is Slomi, and I work as a senior program manager at QuantInsti. I would like to welcome you all for our webinar on implement algo trading strategies on live market. It's really awesome to see participants from across the geographies who are attending this webinar in large numbers. What's fascinating to me is that we are having audience who are, who are attending this webinar early in the morning, and that's really great to know. So without taking much time, let me introduce you to our speaker, Dr. Hui Liu. He's a renowned author, and he holds a major trading interest in US equities and forex market. He has written IBridgePy, a famous Python trading platform, which allows traders to implement their trading strategies quickly. He's also an alumnus of Shanghai University in China, as well as he has holds a PhD from University of Virginia, USA. So allow me and welcome, I would like to welcome him to this amazing webinar at QuantInsti. Sir, I would like you to take it forward.
Oh, thank you, Slomi. Can everybody hear me? Thank you very much for the introduction. I don't have a response, so I assume everybody can hear me. So okay, let's start. Thank you very much for your time. And in this topic, I will talk about trading with interactive brokers using Python, specifically use IBridgePy. And I'm the author of IBridgePy, and a little bit the short introduction for IBridgePy is a flexible and easy-use Python tool to trade with interactive brokers. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to drop me an email at ibridgepy@gmail.com. I will try my best to answer your questions as soon as possible. Here's the agenda of today's topic. First, I will talk about advantages of interactive brokers. Then I will talk about the advantages of using Python for trading. Then I will talk about different areas about IBridgePy. First is the installation, and then I will talk about how to connect IBridgePy to interactive brokers. Then I will talk about PythonXY and a Spider IDE, which is the Python environment, which is very good tool to run your Python program to do the real-time trading. And then I will talk about three important areas about the real-time trading, which include real-time calls, ask for real-time prices, ask for historical data from IB, and then how to place different kind of orders, for example, market order, limit orders, and stop orders. If you are interested in more details, you can take courses at QuantInsti to learn more about that. At the end, I will give a very brief introduction about a sample call, which is a moving average crossing. Thank you. Let's talk about. Okay, here's the advantages of interactive brokers. So interactive brokers is a very famous broker and dealers located in United States. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have experience on interactive brokers. We will call it IB in the presentation. The advantages of IB, based on my personal experience, the best part is IB's very powerful API to do automated trading It's very important. And that's the topic of our today's presentation. The next part is a low trading cost. At IB's website, there's a comparison of the trading cost at different dealers. And based on my personal experience, it really offers very competitive trading costs. Third one, IB provides over 100 market centers in 24 countries, and you can easily access global markets at Interactive Broker. Fourth one, IB offers a variety of products. For example, stocks, options, future, and forex, and so on. And you can easily trade them, use automated programs to realize your strategies. It's very powerful. A little bit discussion about Python for trading. For myself, based on my personal experience, I feel the beauty of Python, especially for beginners, is very easy to learn compared to Java or C# or C++. And if you just read some introduction books, you can quickly grab the idea of Python and realize your trading strategies. Second is Python is open source program, and there's a lot of very useful modules, and you can download it in a few minutes and start to use them. Third one is an open source program language. You can easily understand what's behind the scene, and you can understand the details of your program easily for Python. Okay, next. IBridgePy. If you are looking for a simple tool to trade with IB API using Python, instead of using IBPy or QuantInsti, IBridgePy is the best tool for you. The three main points the motivation when I developed this IBridgePy, there are three main areas. The first one is flexible. The reason I put flexible on the top is because I have used QuantInsti for a long time, and I found out QuantInsti is not that flexible. For example, you can only trade stocks and you on QuantInsti, and the time frequency you can trade is about 2 minutes instead of actually on QuantInsti. You see the function can be run every minute, but actually the real processing time is 2 minutes. And another model is run it every day. It's not that flexible. Also, you can only trade stocks. You cannot do other, for example, forex, option, or futures on QuantInsti. The second one is easy to use. Just like a QuantInsti, it compiles compile your program into 2 functions, and I think it's pretty easy to use. That's why I adopt this methodology in IBridgePy. The third one is privacy. Privacy is very important because if you think about it, if you have a large amount of money you need to manage, and do you feel comfortable to give your password and your credentials to a third-party website? Is that safe enough? I don't think so personally. That's why I developed IBridgePy, and it's a standalone program, runs on your computer, and fully control your privacy. That's very, very important for serious traders. Other main features of IBridgePy is first it can trade any securities offered by IB. The second one is, which is very attractive to fund managers, IBridgePy can easily manage multiple accounts at the same time. Third one is, if you have multiple trading strategies, you can use IBridgePy to execute them at the same time. Installation. The first, you need to send me an email to ibridgepy@gmail.com to request a download link of the newest version of IBridgePy. Later, you will receive a download link in email. After you follow the download link and save the zip file and unzip it into your local folder, you will see a folder looks like something like this on the screen. There's no need to build. It's easy. You can run it as long as you have installed Python interpreter. Actually, there are many ways to run Python scripts. I use Spider IDE. I will introduce it later. And it's very easy to use, actually. And that's good to run your trading algorithm already. Then next step is to connect to interactive broker. The first, you need a demo account at interactive brokers to try your algorithm. Then you can follow the instruction online to choose either TWS, which is a standalone Windows trading system, or IB Gateway to fit your needs. There's a pros and cons between these two platforms. TWS will give you much more information about the market in much more interactive ways to communicate with IB. A lot of information. It's easy to see them on screen if you feel comfortable. On the other hand, there's a very, very little information you can see from IB Gateway. But if IB will shut down actually restart its system every night around 11 p.m. Pacific time, and if it's a concern for you, and IB Gateway is the best choice. Another thing is IB Gateway is faster than TWS when communicating with IB. So it's personal choice, but I highly recommend that you try IB Gateway. It's much easier, cleaner. Okay, here I show a typical IB Gateway login window here. You can easily see, okay, here. So first you need to select API type as IB API, then put in your username, your password, and either paper trading or real trading, and then click login. If you are using a real account, you will be prompted to input your personal identification code based on your security card. They send you separately, and then you can get logged in. If you are using a demo account, it does not require you to input that. It's an extra layer of security offered by IB. And then here's the setup. If you're using IB Gateway, I will give a little bit. It's pretty simple, actually. I will tell you first, you need to click config here, and then a setting up configuration window will show up like this. And then you click API, click settings. Then you will see information here. There's nothing you need to change from its default setups. The only thing you need to quickly check is the socket port is 74 96. This number, this port is not that critical. If you want to change it, it's okay. But I don't recommend you to change it actually. And then you click OK to accept these settings. You're good to go. If you're using TWS, you will see this famous screen actually. What you need to do is first click the very teeny little symbol here, looks like a wrench, and then click Settings. Then the window of settings will show up, look like this. The next thing is you need to click API and Settings. Then you will see this screen. There's one checkbox you need to do is this one, is enable ActiveX and socket clients. That's the only thing you need to check to communicate with IB. And also double check the socket port is 7496. Then click OK. I recommend you to restart TWS to make it effective. Make sure it works. Otherwise, you will see error messages later. And then that's all. You need to configure your IP TWS or IB gateway to communicate with IB. Next one, I will talk about the Python environment. You need to do a little bit of work to start to use Python actually. I will talk about PythonXY. PythonXY is a free scientific and engineering development software, especially good for numerical computations, data analysis, and data visualization. The best part, not the best part, actually the most convenient part for me from PythonXY is a Spider IDE. Actually stands for Interactive Development Environment. It's very easy. It's very easy tool to use to develop your trading algorithms. Actually, it takes a while, actually more than an hour, to download the full package of PythonXY. It takes a long time, but believe me, it's worth your time to install that because a lot of very useful packages will be downloaded at the same time of you download PythonXY, and you will use them later, and you don't need to worry about them later to download them and to install them later. So I highly recommend you to use PythonXY to do that. After you download PythonXY, you start it, you will see a window like this, and then you click this symbol to initiate Spider IDE. Then you're good to go to use Python if you don't have a Python actually. Next page is to prepare IDE. The only thing you need to set up is a Python path, which actually the goal of this Python path is to tell your Python interpreter where your libraries are, so that when you import them, the interpreter knows where to find them. This is the Python Spider will look like. The first thing you need to click View and go to Panels and check. Actually, this is the setup. Personally, I prefer Program on left and Results on right. So to do that, you can click View Panels and only check Editors and Console. So you will get a view on the left-hand side. Next thing is to prepare PythonXY. You click Tools and then go to Python Path Manager, just like the screen on the right-hand side. And then you click add path, and then choose the folder where you unzip IBridgePy and then click close to accept it. It's preferred to restart Spider IDE to make sure the Python path is affected. Okay, run a sample code. To run a sample code, you use IDE by click File and Open, and goes to the folder of IBridgePy, and you will find runme.py, which is the entrance of IBridgePy. You will see Spider show up like the following. Left-hand side is runme.py, and the right-hand side is, you will see a result of your program. And when you're ready to run your Python code, just click the green triangle or click F5 to run it. It's just this green triangle to run it. So if you are not very comfortable to run your program on IDE, and if you are prefer to have a Windows-like interface, actually it's the good. We are developing next generation IBridgePy. It will show up, looks like a Windows like this. Same methodology. For left-hand side is the Python code. The right-hand side is the output of your program. But the visualization part is you can easily see the account balance information in this area. Here I show 3 numbers: cash value, portfolio value, and positions. And you can easily see when you run your program. And in this window, left corner, you will see the status of your orders. For example, this one, request ID is 528. The status is filled, which means IB has executed your order request. The action is to buy market 100 shares of Forex, Euro to US dollars at a certain price. On the right lower corner, this window shows you the position. The first column is the name of the security. The second column is the quantity or amount of your shares you are holding. The third one is the cost basis, and then fourth one is the profit, either positive or negative. Okay, the code structure of IBridgePy. As I mentioned, I have used QuantOpen for a long time, and I think QuantOpen offers a very good structure. So I adopted it into IBridgePy. It includes 2 functions. The first one is initialize. It's a built-in method to claim variables. If you are familiar with QuantOpen, you will know, you will feel very similar like QuantOpen. It will only be run once when you run your Python code. The next function is handle data, as in QuantOpen. Handle data will be run repeatedly. You can choose the frequency of running handle data. That's different than QuantOpen. QuantOpen, you can only run it every minute. There are 2 parameters. One is a context, which contains the variables claimed in initialize. And the data will store live feed received either daily, a minute, or other frequency. In this sample code, I print get data time and then adjust the format. This is a Python style. And then you print the server time. Next, is to show a price, which is a Forex euro to US dollar, and show the ask price. And next page is the result. You will see after you click run. It's like this. The first, you will see the first line is starting to initialize trader, and then the account balance will show up. If there's any positions, it will show up as well. Then if there are any open orders, it will show up in the next lines. Then you will see initialize trader completed, which means your code is ready to run. And then next, as I wrote in the program, the first line is the server time, and then the next line is the ask price of Forex euro to USD, and then every second it will jump out and show the real-time price. It didn't change at the moment I tested the program. Next page, a closer look at runme.py. Here's the code the runme looks like actually. From line 16 to line 19, here's the file names. Actually, it's different trading algorithms you save, and then you can execute them by commenting out others, as I showed from line 16 to line 19. I comment out 16, 17, and 19, and only run 18. The name of the program is example show real-time price.py, and then you run it with the program you run. The line 20, you need to tell IB what's your account code here. Line 21 is how often the function of handle data will be run. 60 means to run it every minute, and 1 means to run it every second. Line 22 is the log level. There are 4 levels to show result. The first one is error, only show error messages. And the next level is info. Typical users will use it to know the result of your algorithm. The next one is debug. When you are in the debug mode, there's more information how your program be run in IBridgePy. If you want to know every details of your program, then you can set it to not set, which is everything. It's a lot of information. It's not easy to use actually, but it shows you everything. 3 cornerstones of IBridgePy. I will talk about real-time price, how to ask for historical data, and how to place orders. The first is ask for real-time quotes. When you need a real-time price, just simply call a built-in function which is show real-time price, as I showed in this line. And there are 2 parameters. First one is the name of the security you want to ask for price. The next parameter is ask price or bid price or last price. You can specify them. For most of US stocks or ETFs, you simply put, for example, AAPL, use a symbol instead of the full name. Actually, I define it is like this: stock, Apple, and the base currency is USD. So instead of put STK AAPL USD, you can simply put AAPL for Apple. And for other securities, for example, Forex, futures, and options, more information is needed to specify. For example, if you want to trade future E-mini you can put FUTES and put the expiration date and to specify that. If you want to trade option, there are more information you need to put, for example, the expiration date, price, and multiplier, and either put or call. You need more information to decide that. If you want to trade forex, you put cash, euro, USD, and it's good to go to ask for a real-time price. The next part is ask for historical data from IB. Actually, IB has a lot of valuable historical data, but there's a limitation how much historical data you can request. And you can refer to the IB website to know the request limit. In IBridgePy, there's one function called request data to ask all kinds of information from IB server. I combine them together. To ask for historical data from IB, a parameter called history data need to be specified, as I showed in this program. Line 19 is request data, and then you need to specify history data. What's that? In this example, I asked for SPY. SPY is the ETF. It's an ETF tracking Standard Poor's 500 index. It's an ETF, and as I said, you just put SPY to tell you want that security. And the next parameter is the time gap. Here I specified is as a one date, which means a daily data. Next parameter is a 50D, which means the period of go back. 50D means go back 50 days from today. The next, and then the result, the come from IB will be saved at actually a class called a data class. Is a dictionary format, and it will be indexed by the name of your security. You will see data in the name of security, and then the history data will be saved as an attribute of data class, which is history, HIST, and then you specify is the time gap. If you ask for 1 day, and then you call it 1 day. If you ask for 1 minute, then change it to 1 minute. The result will be saved here. In Pandas, Pandas is a Python package, which is very powerful to handle data in just like Excel. Actually, it's much powerful than Excel. It's called a data frame. It will, so the retrieved historical data will be saved in a Pandas data frame as shown in the bottom part. The first column is the time. This one is daily data, so you will see only daily daytime, and if you ask for minute data, then it will show minutes. Then there are 5 columns: close, high, low, open, volume. Actually, if you are interested other information about history data, and you are advanced user of IBridgePy, you can code to put information in other than these 5 columns. And then next part is about to request historical data from IB from other time periods at other frequencies. If you go to the IB website, go to this page, this interactivebroker.com software API HTML, you will see the format, how you can specify your request of historical data. Here is the list of time gap you can request IB support from 1 second to 1 day. Here's the format. You can specify the go back period. For example, S means in seconds. D, as I used, is for days, and W stands for weeks. If you don't specify it, seconds will be used. Here is an example. If I ask for minute data, you will see that the first index column shows as minutes here already, and then 5 columns is closed, high, low, close, open volume. Ask for more historical data once. You can put more symbols, like I put here. Historical data equals the first security is SPY, the second one is Apple, stock of Apple, and you can specify, for example, for SPY you ask for 1 minute and go back 1 day, and for Apple you ask for 1 day and go back for 10 days. So it's just, as I mentioned, it's easy to use, and you request once and you got data later, and they are saved, as I mentioned, in data class. It will be indexed by the name of your security, and the history will be saved as the attribute of HST in the use time period to specify the data you request. And the dot tail, which means actually it's just for this webinar, I want to show the last 5 lines of the pandas data frame. You will see it's just 5 lines because I put dot tail here. So the first one looks like this one is okay, here is this SPY 1 minute data, and the lower part is stock of Apple, and which is daily data. So in your program you can use it. Okay, next one is how to place orders. To place order, there's one function called order, and you put attributes to this function. Here I put a symbol SPY, 100, which means to place a market order. The target security is SPY. The action is to buy 100 shares when this number is positive, and you use negative numbers to specify sell. For example, minus 100 means to sell 100 shares. A similar function to place order is order target, and you put similar attributes, parameters here to tell IBridgePy to place a target order. Target means IBridgePy will adjust positions based on your holding positions, either buy or sell, until you hold 100 shares. It just looks like a control actually, but I don't like order percentage or order portfolios as used in Contopin. And because if you want to handle multiple securities and multiple trading strategies in one Python script, or handle multiple accounts, it's not that straightforward to use order portfolio or something like that. So I only define the order target. If you think they are handy, for example, order percentage, you can write it yourself. It's not that hard, actually. And then next part is how to place a limit of stop orders. Sometimes it's sometimes you want to replace that. Here I put one example to place a limit order to buy 100 shares of SPY at a price For example, $216.32 per share. You just put SPY and 100, and then specify as a limit order, and then put the price you want to, if you the limit price there, and then that's to place a limit order. If you want to place a stop order, you change it to a stop order and put price there. I put minus 100, which means we want to sell 100 shares of SPY at a stop price. In this way, you place market order, limit order, stop order. If you want to do other, actually, IB support a lot of order types, and you can refer to the IB menu. And I didn't define them in IBridgePy, but if you really want to use them, I will show you how to specify them in the following courses. Next page is to, actually it's highly recommended to follow up on the status of order you placed. In Quantopian, you won't see it, but I think it's very important, especially when your Python code handles multiple accounts, multiple strategies, and it's pretty critical to know the status of the orders you place. So I define a function called order status monitor. It works like this. First, you place order, use order, and then the return value is order ID. And then you put this order ID into order status monitor. And then if you don't specify target status, here it's like this. When it's filled, which means your order has been executed as IB, and IB will feedback a field as order status. And for market order, you should expect field as the ending point of your order request. So you put field there. If you want to put a market order, then the expected result status won't be filled. It should be submitted, because it may not, the orders, the limit or stop orders may not be executed as IB and waiting for execution, and so you should put submitted. In the next parameter is waiting time in seconds. I put 30 there. Actually, the reason I put there is kind of debug thing, actually, because it won't take too long to complete a market order at IB for high liquidity securities. Even for low liquidity securities, the waiting time should be within a few seconds. So I put 30 is a safe side. If you wait too long, which means there's something wrong in your code, or the market is not open, or something in your order is not correct, and then the program will stop to tell you. Actually, it's to warn you something unexpected. So it's give you a warning sign to debug your Python code. Okay, here's the result. Actually, to place an order, I will explain them line by line. The first line, actually, the first IBridgePy is the module name, and then next one is this part order slash Quantopian is the function will be run in the IBridgePy, and then the content is to request to buy a market order, 100 shares of Forex, Euro, USD, and the order ID is 520 at unknown price. Unknown price means it's market order. You don't know what's the executed price actually when request to place order. And then here is an error message actually from IB. This error message is, it says, buy 100 shares for forest is kind of unusual small size. Just IB warning that something seems strange to IB actually. It's just tell you something you need to worry about actually. But actually we just, as a demo code, I just put 100 shares, that's why it show up. Next one is order status monitor. You monitor order ID 520 and it got result. It's filled, which means your order has been executed at IB. Actions buy, type is market 100 shares of Euro USD as you specified. Add here, you will see the final executed price in this function. Okay, and then I prefer to print account balance to show the result actually. Positions will be show up here. This one is 5,700 actually, because before I place this sample order, there's a position already there. That's why it's 5,700. And you see here is open orders. Actually, it's order status, including open orders. For 520 request ID, status is filled, which means it's completed. If it's a limit order or stop order, you will see the order status will be submitted. Okay, and I have introduced the 3 cornerstones. One is ask for real-time price. Second one is ask for historical data. Third one is place order. That's the critical 3 cornerstones to run real-time live trading strategies. Actually, just 3 building blocks is good enough for you. And here, I want to give a brief introduction about a simple strategy. It's called moving average crossing. The theory is when we use 2 moving averages, the fast moving average, for example 5, when it crosses from lower to above, the longer moving average, I use 15 here as an example here. And when it crosses up, we think it's a buy opportunity. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, let me finish here. So the methodology is here is the moving average crossing. To realize that, here I define a variable initialize. It's run once, which tells if the handle data has been run in a day. If false means it has not been run, and the true means has been run. It's just a flag actually. Here I define the security, and for the following part, it's a symbol SPY. And in the handle part, first, last time I got used get data time to get IB server time. It's a built-in function to obtain IB server time. And then weekday, time.weekday tells you if it's Monday or Friday or Saturday, because the market closed on Saturday and Sundays, so only trade from Monday to Friday. And at Eastern time, 3 p.m. 3:58 in the afternoon is 2 minutes before the market closes. Reset flag to get ready to trade, and then I want to trade at 1 minute before market close and do a moving average calculation. If moving average of 5 greater than moving average 15, then we buy. Otherwise, we sell. So the next line is request data, and then calculate the moving average and use -1 means the latest number. You compare and you place order and then monitor the order status as shown here, and then that's it. It's just a pretty simple moving average crossing. Okay, next. Okay, that's the end. And thank you very much. If you need any help, we are here. Just send me an email at IBridgePy@gmail.com. We are highly experienced in implementing various trading algorithms quickly. So just drop me an email. Thank you very much.
Well, algorithmic trading requires you to merge two traditionally disjoint set of skills. One is finance, another is technology. So you need to merge skills in finance and technology to be able to do algorithmic trading. So you need to understand the markets, you need to understand big data statistics to be able to design your strategies. But once you have designed the strategies, you need to also understand technology to be able to automate your strategies. So therefore, that is where the QuantInsti's education programs come into place. So we train people about the entire gamut of operations and skills required to be able to be a successful algorithmic trader.